A Wishes for the Cloths of Heaven by William Butler Yeats. For LibriVox.org. Narrated by Sean McKinley. Had I the heavens' embroidered cloths, enwrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half-light, I would spread the cloths under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. All Day I Hear the Noise of Waters by James Joyce. For LibriVox.org. Narrated by Sean McKinley. All day I hear the noise of waters making moan. Sad as the sea-bird is, when going forth alone, he hears the winds cry to the water's monotone. The grey winds, the cold winds, are blowing where I go. I hear the noise of many waters far below. All day, all night, I hear them flowing to and fro. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Bright Star, Would I Were Steadfast as Thou Art, by John Keats. Read for LibriVox.org by Kristen Hughes. Bright star, would I were steadfast as thou art, not in lone splendor hung aloft the night, and watching, with eternal lids apart, like nature's patient sleepless eremite, the moving waters at the priest-like task of pure ablution round earth's human shores, or gazing on the new soft-fallen mask of snow upon the mountains and the moors. No, yet still steadfast, still unchangeable, pillowed upon my fair love's ripening breast, to feel forever its soft fall and swell, awake forever in a sweet unrest. Still, still to hear her tender taken breath, and so live ever, or else swoon to death. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Cold Heaven by William Butler Yeats. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Suddenly I saw the cold and rook-delighting heaven that seemed as though ice burned, and was but the more ice. And thereupon imagination and heart were driven so wild that every casual thought of that and this vanished, and left but memories, that should be out of season with the hot blood of youth, of love crossed long ago. And I took all the blame out of all sense and reason, until I cried and trembled and rocked to and fro, riddled with light. Ah! When the ghost begins to quicken, confusion of the death-bed over, is it sent out naked on the roads, as the books say, and stricken by the injustice of the skies for punishment? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Fool's Prayer by Edward Rollins Sill. Read for LibriVox.org by Michael Robinson, Carbondale, Illinois. The royal feast was done. The king sought some new sport to banish care, and to his jester cried, "Sir Fool, kneel now, and make for us a prayer." The jester doffed his cap and bells, and stood the mocking court before. They could not see the bitter smile behind the painted grin he wore. He bowed his head, and bent his knee upon the monarch's silken stool. His pleading voice arose, "O Lord, be merciful to me, a fool." No pity, Lord, could change the heart from red with wrong to white as wool. The rod must heal the sin, but, Lord, be merciful to me, a fool. 'Tis not by guilt the onward sweep of truth and right, O Lord, we stay. 'Tis by our follies that so long we hold the earth from heaven away. These clumsy feet, still in the mire, go crushing blossoms without end. These hard, well-meaning hands we thrust among the heartstrings of a friend. The ill-timed truth we might have kept, who knows how sharp it pierced and stung? The word we had not sense to say, who knows how grandly it had rung? Our faults no tenderness should ask, the chastening stripes must cleanse them all. But for our blunders, oh, in shame before the eyes of heaven we fall. Earth bears no balsam for mistakes. Men crown the knave and scourge the tool that did his will. But thou, O Lord, be merciful to me, a fool. The room was hushed. In silence rose the king, and sought his gardens cool, and walked apart, and murmured low, be merciful to me, a fool. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Gourmet's Love Song by P.G. Wodehouse. Recorded for LibriVox.org by Craig Allen. How strange is love! I am not one who Cupid's power belittles, for Cupid 'tis who makes me shun my customary victuals. Of Effie, since that painful scene that left me broken-hearted, my appetite, erstwhile so keen, has utterly departed. My form, my friends observe with pain, is growing daily thinner. Love only occupies the brain that once could think of dinner. Around me myriad waiters flit with meat and drink to ply men. Alone, disconsolate, I sit and feed on thoughts of Hymen. The kindly waiters hear my groan. They strive to charm with curry. They tempt me with a deviled bone. I beg them not to worry. Soup, whitebait, entrees, fricassees, they bring me uninvited. I need them not, for what are these to one whose life is blighted? They show me dishes rich and rare, but my pulse no joy stirs. For savories I've ceased to care. I hate the thought of oysters. They bring me roast, they bring me boiled, but all in vain they woo me. The waiters softly mutter, foiled. The chef, poor man, looks gloomy. So, Effie, turn that shell-like ear, nor to my sighing close it. You cannot doubt that I'm sincere. This ballad surely knows it. No longer spurn the suit I press. Respect my agitation. Do change your mind, and answer yes, and save me from starvation. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Gradatim by Josiah Gilbert Holland. Read for LibriVox.org by Michael Robinson, Carbondale, Illinois. Heaven is not reached by a single bound, but we build the ladder by which we rise from the lowly earth to the vaulted skies, and we mount to its summit, round by round. I count this thing to be grandly true, then a noble deed is a step toward God, lifting the soul from the common clod to a purer air and a fairer view. We rise by the things that are under our feet, by what we have mastered of good or gain, by the pride deposed, or the passion slain, and the vanquished ills that we hourly meet. We hope, we aspire, we resolve, we trust. When the morning calls to life and light, But our hearts grow weary, and ere the night, our lives are trailing the sordid dust. We hope, we resolve, we aspire, we pray. And we think that we mount the air on wings beyond the recall of earthly things, while our feet still cling to the heavy clay. Wings are for angels, but feet for men. We may borrow the wings to find the way. We may hope and resolve and aspire and pray. But our feet must rise, or we fall again. Only in dreams is a ladder thrown from the weary earth to the sapphire walls, but the dreams depart, and the ladder falls, and the sleeper wakes on his pillow of stone. Heaven is not reached at a single bound, but we build the ladder by which we rise from the lowly earth to the vaulted skies, and we mount to its summit round by round. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
How Many Bards Gild the Lapses of Time by John Keats. Read for LibriVox.org by Kristen Hughes. How many bards gild the lapses of time! A few of them have ever been the food of my delighted fancy. I could brood over their beauties, earthly or sublime, and often, when I sit me down to rhyme, these will in throngs before my mind intrude. But no confusion, no disturbance rude do they occasion. 'Tis a pleasing chime. So the unnumbered sounds that evening store, the song of birds, the whispering of the leaves, the voice of waters, the great bell that heaves with solemn sound, and thousand others more, that distance of recognizance bereaves, make pleasing music and not wild uproar. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
I hear an army charging upon the land, by James Joyce. For LibriVox.org, narrated by Sean McKinley. I hear an army charging upon the land, and the thunder of horses plunging, foam about their knees. Arrogant, in black armor, behind them stand, disdaining the reins, with fluttering ships, the charioteers. They cry unto the night their battle name. I moan and sleep when I hear afar their whirling laughter. They cleave the gloom of dreams, a blinding flame, clanging, clanging upon the heart as upon an anvil. They come shaking in triumph their long green hair. They come out of the sea and run shouting by the shore. My heart, have you no wisdom thus to despair? My love, my love, my love, why have you left me alone? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
In Time of Pestilence by Thomas Nash. Read for LibriVox.org by Michael Robinson, Carbondale, Illinois. Adieu, farewell, earth's bliss. This world uncertain is. Fonder life's lustful joys. Death proves them all but toys. None from his darts can fly. I am sick, I must die. Lord, have mercy on us. Rich men trust not in wealth. Gold cannot buy you health. Physique himself must fade. All things to end are made. The plague full swift goes by. I am sick, I must die. Lord, have mercy on us. Beauty is but a flower which wrinkles will devour. Brightness falls from the air. queens have died, young and fair. Dust hath closed Helen's eye. I am sick, I must die. Lord, have mercy on us. Strength stoops unto the grave. Worms feed on Hector brave. Swords may not fight with fate. Earth still holds ope her gate. Come, come, the bells do cry. I am sick, I must die. Lord, have mercy on us. Wit with his wantonness tasteth death's bitterness. Hell's executioner hath no ears for to hear what vain art can reply. I am sick, I must die. Lord, have mercy on us. Haste therefore each degree to welcome destiny. Heaven is our heritage, earth but a player's stage. Mount we unto the sky. I am sick, I must die. Lord, have mercy on us. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Mariana by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Read for LibriVox.org by Kristen Hughes. With blackest moss the flower pots were thickly crusted, one and all. The rusted nails fell from the knots that held the pair to the gable wall. The broken sheds looked sad and strange. Unlifted was the clinking latch. Weeded and worn the ancient thatch upon the lonely moated grange. She only said, "My life is dreary, he cometh not," she said. She said, "I am aweary, aweary, I would that I were dead." Her tears fell with the dews at even, her tears fell ere the dews were dried. She could not look on the sweet heaven either at morn or eventide. After the flitting of the bats, when thickest dark did trance the sky, she drew her casement curtain by and glanced athwart the glooming flats. She only said, "The night is dreary, he cometh not," she said. She said, "I am aweary, aweary, I would that I were dead." Upon the middle of the night, waking she heard the night-fowl crow. The cock sung out an hour ere light. From the dark fen the oxen's low came to her without hope of change. In sleep she seemed to walk forlorn, till cold winds woke the grey-eyed morn about the lonely moated grange. She only said, "The day is dreary, he cometh not," she said. She said, "I am aweary, aweary, I would that I were dead." About a stone cast from the wall a sluice with blackened water slept, and o'er it many, round and small, the clustered marish mosses crept. Hard by a poplar shook alway, all silver green with gnarled bark. For leagues no other tree did mark the level waste, the rounding grey. She only said, "My life is dreary, he cometh not," she said. She said, "I am aweary, aweary, I would that I were dead." And ever when the moon was low, and the shrill winds were up and away, in the white curtain to and fro she saw the gusty shadows sway. But when the moon was very low, and wild winds bound within their cell, the shadow of the poplar fell upon her bed across her brow. She only said, "The night is dreary, he cometh not," she said. She said, "I am aweary, aweary, I would that I were dead." All day within the dreamy house the doors upon their hinges creaked, the blue fly sung in the pane, the mouse behind the mouldering wainscot shrieked, or from the crevice peered about. Old faces glimmered through the doors, old footsteps trod the upper floors, old voices called her from without. She only said, "My life is dreary, he cometh not," she said. She said, "I am aweary, aweary, I would that I were dead." the sparrows chirrup on the roof, the slow clock ticking, and the sound to which the wooing wind aloof the poplar made, did all confound her sense, but most she loathed the hour when the thick-moted sunbeam lay athwart the chambers, and the day was sloping toward his western bower. Then she said, "I am very dreary, he will not come," she said. She wept, "I am aweary, aweary, O God, that I were dead!" End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
O Captain, My Captain by Walt Whitman. For LibriVox.org. Narrated by Sean McKinley. O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack, the prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting, while follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But O heart, 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 O the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. O Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells, rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills, for you bouquets and ribboned wreaths, for you the shores a-crowding, for you they call, the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you've fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer, his lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm, he has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip the victor ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells, but I with mournful tread walk the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Opportunity by John James Ingalls. Read for LibriVox.org by Michael Robinson, Carbondale, Illinois. Master of human destinies am I. Fame, love, and fortune on my footsteps wait. Cities and fields I walk. I penetrate deserts and seas remote, and, passing by hovel and mart and palace, soon or late I knock unbidden once at every gate. If sleeping, wake; if feasting, rise before I turn away. It is the hour of fate, and they who follow me reach every state mortals desire, and conquer every foe, save death. But those who doubt or hesitate, condemned to failure, penury, and woe, seek me in vain and uselessly implore. I answer not, and I return no more. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sleep Now, O Sleep Now by James Joyce. For LibriVox.org. Narrated by Sean McKinley. Sleep now, O sleep now, O you unquiet heart. A voice crying, "Sleep now," is heard in my heart. The voice of the winter is heard at the door. O sleep, for winter is crying, "Sleep no more." My kiss will give peace now, and quiet to your heart. Sleep on in peace now, O you unquiet heart. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Song of Myself, Section 30, by Walt Whitman, read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. All truths wait in all things. They neither hasten their own delivery nor resist it. They do not need the obstetric forceps of the surgeon. The insignificant is as big to me as any. What is less or more than a touch? Logic and sermons never convince. The damp of the night drives deeper into my soul. Only what proves itself to every man and woman is so. Only what nobody denies is so. A minute and a drop of me settle my brain. I believe the soggy clods shall become lovers and lamps, and a compend of compends is the meat of a man or woman, and a summit and flower there is the feeling they have for each other, and they are to branch boundlessly out of that lesson until it becomes omnific, and until one and all shall delight us, and we them. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Song of Myself, Section 44, by Walt Whitman, read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. It is time to explain myself. Let us stand up. What is known I strip away. I launch all men and women forward with me into the unknown. The clock indicates the moment, but what does eternity indicate? We have thus far exhausted trillions of winters and summers. There are trillions ahead and trillions ahead of them. Births have brought us richness and variety, and other births will bring us richness and variety. I do not call one greater and one smaller. That which fills its period and place is equal to any. Were mankind murderous or jealous upon you, my brother, my sister, I am sorry for you. They are not murderous or jealous upon me. All has been gentle with me. I keep no account with lamentation. What have I to do with lamentation? I am an acme of things accomplished, and I an encloser of things to be. My feet strike an apex of the apices of the stairs. On every step bunches of ages, and larger bunches between the steps. All below duly travelled, and still I mount and mount. Rise after rise bow the phantoms behind me. Afar down I see the huge first nothing. I know I was even there. I waited unseen and always, and slept through the lethargic mist, and took my time, and took no hurt from the fetid carbon. Long I was hugged close, long and long. Immense have been the preparations for me, faithful and friendly the arms that have helped me. Cycles ferried my cradle, rowing and rowing like cheerful boatmen. For room to me stars kept aside in their own rings. They sent influences to look after what was to hold me. Before I was born out of my mother, generations guided me. My embryo has never been torpid. Nothing could overlay it. For it the nebula cohered to an orb. The long slow strata piled to rest it on. Vast vegetables gave it sustenance. Monstrous sauroids transported it in their mouths, and deposited it with care. All forces have been steadily employed to complete and delight me. Now on this spot I stand with my robust soul. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet 73 by William Shakespeare. Read for LibriVox.org by Sam Stinson. That time of year thou mayst in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none or few do hang, upon those boughs which shake against the cold, bear ruined choirs where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceiv'st, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sonnet 104 by William Shakespeare. Read for LibriVox.org by Carolyn Francis. To me, fair friend, you never can be old, for as you were when first your eye I eyed, such seems your beauty still. 3 winters cold have from the forests shook 3 summers' pride. 3 beauteous springs to yellow autumn turned. In the process of the seasons have I seen 3 April perfumes in 3 hot Junes burned, since first I saw you fresh, which yet are green. Ah, yet doth beauty like a dial hand steal from his figure, and no place perceived, so your sweet hue, which methinks still doth stand, hath motion, and mine eye may be deceived. For fear of which, hear this, thou age unbred, ere you were born was beauty's summer dead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To a Cabaret Dancer by Juna Barnes. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. 1,000 lights had smitten her into this thing. Life had taken her and given her one place to sing. She came with laughter wide and calm, and splendid grace, and looked between the lights and wine for one fine face, and found life only passion wide, twixt mouth and wine. She ceased to search, and growing wise became less fine. Yet some wondrous thing within the mess was held in check, was missing as she groped and clung about his neck. One master chord we couldn't sound, for lost the keys, yet she hinted of it as she sang between our knees. We watched her come with subtle fire and learned feet, stumbling among the lustful drink, yet somehow sweet. We saw the crimson leave her cheeks, flame in her eyes, for when a woman lives in awful haste, a woman dies. The jest that lit our hours by night and made them gay soiled a sweet and ignorant soul and fouled its play. Barriers and heart both broken, dust beneath her feet. You've passed her 40 times and sneered, out in the street. 1,000 jibes had driven her to this at last, till the ruined crimson of her lips grew vague and vast, until her songless soul admits time comes to kill. You pay her price and wonder why you need her still. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Valediction of Weeping by John Donne. Read for LibriVox.org by Noonday. Let me pour forth my tears before thy face, whilst I stay here, for thy face coins them, and thy stamp they bear, and by this mintage they're something worth, for thus they be, pregnant of thee. Fruits of much grief they are, emblems of more, when a tear falls, that thou falls which it bore. So thou and I are nothing then, when on a diver's shore, on a round ball, a workman that hath copies by can lay in Europe, Africa, and in Asia, and quickly make that which was nothing all. So doth each tear which thee doth wear, a globe, yea, a world, by that impression grow, till thy tears mixed with mine do overflow this world, by water sent from thee, my heaven dissolved so. O more than moon, draw not up seas to drown me in thy sphere, weep me not dead in thine arms, but forbear to teach the sea what it may do too soon. Let not the wind example find to do me more harm than it purposeth, since thou and I sigh one another's breath. Whoe'er sighs most is cruelest, and hastes the other's death. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.